like if you're going to start a business, I thought you set aside a marketing budget and you say, okay, this is, it may not be big. Okay, we'll go guerrilla style and do something here, but we do have a budget for that, right? And it does not seem like that. I don't know.
Papa's popping and locking, Magnum scrutinizing, Papa Mac's podcast.
Welcome to week 5 of Papa Mac's Pinecast. It's been 24 days
Hold
since
up. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to let you finish. Did you see this Price is Right drop that's coming up?
I did not.
Well, it's not out yet, but I just got an email. This is breaking news from Thetadrop. It looks like that after the next NFT that's going to happen after the Price is Right drop is the Biggest Loser drop. They're continuing with this game show theme. I'm looking at what it's looking like, and they're all Kyle.
Ooh, generative?
No.
Hot tub?
It's Kyle in the hot tub, and it looks like mint to demand for like a week.
All right. Well, where I was going to say it's been 24 days since we were told that we could take our NFTs off of Thetadrop. So I'm just keeping track of that as we go, making sure that we.
So we're past the couple.
We're past the couple. Yeah, we're well into a few.
We're well into a few weeks, right? So it could be any day now.
It could be. But we didn't get a chance to take our NFTs off Thetadrop this week. But I don't know if you noticed the new feature that did hit, the offers.
Did see the offers. That's been generating a lot of buzz lately, wouldn't you say?
It certainly has. I'd like to get your take on these.
Well, the rollout wasn't very smooth. It's Thetadrop, so you got to give them a pass on that because they're in beta.
It's in beta, yeah.
It's in beta. But so they come out with it with no notice. It just they just dropped it on us. I got notified by somebody right before the email came. But then the flood came in of 1 cent 20 T fuel offers for anything and everything. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. You were saying that there was people changing their names on Thetadrop to look like other names that the person was sliding their NFTs to. Either like another account that they were setting up to make it look like so they could screw up and send it to the wrong person, right?
Yes, absolutely. They're people always trying to play games, and you can't blame them. Hey, good. Here's an A for effort, but yeah, not my favorite. But
did you see the change?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's been plenty of changes that have happened since the implementation. It's just kind of a work in progress. And I'm seeing that the latest iteration of this has offers being viewable only if they're listed within 90% of your listing price.
Yep. I saw that. What's your take on that? You like it or do you not like it?
Honestly, if you're on any other platform, there's no penalty other than gas to move your NFTs from one account to another account. I don't see what the dollar transfers hurt, to be quite honest with you. What do you think?
I think it's all money with Thetadrop.
100%.
They realize that, hey, you can accept an offer within 90% of the price. However, we need our 10%. So they want to get their 10% to 10%.
Yeah. And that's totally the case. But, Thetadrop is really there. Can you think of any other marketplace where you have to pay 10% of 10% to move something from your left pocket to your right to a friend or your wife or whatever the case may be,
Yeah, I agree with that, but I'd give them a little leeway on this. I think we're getting there. Right?
Listen, it's a huge step in the right direction. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. The uproar over, so obviously this week, you and I both know that there was the challenges started up for Symbiotes.
Right.
And before we get too much farther into this offer thing, that first challenge it was supposed to start up at what 1 o'clock 1 o'clock Eastern on Wednesday afternoon. So guess what
Right.
the entire community for Symbiotes is doing at 1 o'clock Eastern? We're hitting F5, man, all for a full hour because someone's out getting coffee instead of getting this thing triggered at the right time when it was supposed to be released.
I think
We had a
Kyle was
2
asleep
p.m.
at the
kickoff.
wheel.
I mean, it's kind of a shame, you have like, it's one of the stronger communities in the game right now. These guys are really killing it over there, and you got the whole community over there hitting F5 for a whole hour because Thetadrop couldn't figure out that it was 1 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock.
Well, I mean, I think I said this before, but when the Pines were doing their challenges and they got screwed up, the Pines didn't lock for the same length at the time of the challenge, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
people were sliding. So obviously they had to probably spend some money to slide their NFTs to their wipes or whatever, which is fine. And it's more costly, of course, to do it that way, the old way. But James and his team reached out about this. We know they did.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
they sat on it for a long time. So when Ivory, your boy, was launching his stuff, he was all, hey, I contacted them. He was not stopping, and
Yeah,
at least he got them to do something. So I'm not surprised that they screwed up the Symbies, but then two, I am surprised that they actually acted as quick as they did. So it's a double surprise.
double surprise. So they negates the surprise, right?
Right. Sure.
Just like a double negative. I mean, speaking of these Symbiote challenges, man, I'm double surprised here as well, because that first one, all you needed to do for the first one was have opened a vault, one of the four, have a collision, an architect, a synergy, or a fuse, and bang, here you go. Here's a free NFT just for being a part of the community. Thank you very much. Love having you here. There's like 389 people in Discord. There's 1,300 holders of NFTs of Ivories. And guess how many were minted? 351. It's like people just leaving money on the table. And now guess what? Things selling for $290. All you had to do was buy $100 collision and you get a $300 NFT.
They don't, it's funny, people complain about prices, but they don't like an arbitrage situation like that.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that people in Symbiotes are not complaining about prices, maybe about them being too expensive. You know what I mean?
Right.
This thing is just crushing it. It's ridiculous. I'm just looking at these. It's like unbelievable the strength of the prices of these NFTs during this market. It's just blowing everything out of the water.
It's holding up a lot better than the market in general.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And then, obviously yesterday we had a big drop with Sony, and I was not able to get one of the pineapple, or what are I don't even know what those things. The
it's
tikis.
Like a tiki?
Yeah, I was not able to get one of the tikis, and the tikis are holding up price pretty good. But somebody bought one of the spatial displays for $5,100, and today they're selling it. They're trying to sell it for $4,400. It's like
a bold move.
Yeah, I mean, interesting strategy, right?
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it. I mean, it's a day later. It's just, can you help me make sense of that?
The market in particular on Thetadrop is really funny. When they came up with the bronze, which ticked a lot of people off that weren't bronze level, that actually were doing like buying and selling. The bronze, they came up with the T-Fuel only option, and there is no option for USD. But now I've seen, how like a lot of people will have like T-Fuel please, or something with T-Fuel in their name to encourage them. Like this was definitely going on more prevalent before the bronze level.
Absolutely.
But now I'm seeing a lot more USD please on there.
That's funny. I haven't seen that.
I just saw it tonight. I was dying. But I mean, think about it. You sell something overnight, and then the price of T-Fuel bottoms out or goes even lower. You wake up, you lost money.
Well, if you get the bronze, which costs about $40 these days, Then you can ask for T Fuel only without having to change your name. So there was actually one other big drop this week, Mags. We had the ThetaCon tickets dropped. Did you were you able to grab some of them?
Some or a few or a couple. I did grab one,
You grabbed one, so less
which
than a
is
couple.
less than a
and
couple, less than a few.
Less than a few has to be. But you were able to secure one for yourself, huh?
Yes, that is
this
correct.
this is the official announcement that both Mags and Popper will be at ThetaCon?
Could
I don't
be.
know.
I mean,
That sounds kind of special though.
it does. It does. I would say it's more likely than not.
Are you
It
going
was
to
gonna
bring
happen.
your special "I need an apology" T-shirt?
I don't have one of those yet, believe it or not. So I'm sorry about that.
Well,
But
I mean, it's got to be
hopefully,
in the works.
yeah, we got time. We got time to get them ready.
Could be a blindfold too.
A blindfold.
Yeah, Pine would look great with that blindfold. I need an apology.
Like
the apology instead of no mercy.
No mercy, yeah.
No apology.
No apology. That would be on I think that's on Kyle's custom.
Oh, no apologies for you is on his. Well, yeah, no, I look forward to. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's definitely going to be a lot going on. Seems like there's going to be a good group of pineapples there, and I'm really looking forward to meeting some of these guys, the community, and just all the excitement that's in store with a lot of these projects that are building up right now. Hopefully, by the time we come around to it, there's going to be some real meat on the bone. I mean, I'm just hoping it doesn't in the bull market, bear market. If you're working, you're working. You know what I mean? A lot of these projects are putting in a lot of work right now. Expectations are high. There's a bunch of projects that have high expectations, and just knowing that there's going to definitely be a solid group of people at a minimum at this ThetaCon. It seems like projects might have something up their sleeve to try to have for that time, you think, maybe? And that's right around the time of the meta chain too,
I'll take your word for it. I don't know that.
Yeah, December 1st. And the thing is December 2nd. So I mean, we all know what dates mean in crypto. Absolutely nothing. But
well, I thought you were going to say we all know what dates mean with Thetadrop.
Oh, well, I mean, in crypto in general, Theta's not the only one to tease with dates that don't come through. I can't say that.
You just brought up something I thought that was kind of interesting. I got to hear your take on it. They delayed the Sony drop a while ago because market conditions were were shit.
Yeah.
And
now they're like in the sewage.
Right. They're even worse than they were before, and they said, "Yeah, this looks like a good idea."
No, listen, I never bought that in the first place. They're trying to sell that. I don't believe it for a second. Something else happened. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, if they were gonna wait until this thing actually turned around, then okay, I get it. But to say that and then just a few weeks later when we're just dumping even harder, then the market's not down enough yet, guys, for us to drop this. So I don't know why. I don't really care why. I don't think that they need to make up fake excuses either.
I especially like you mentioned before, they're all doxxed. Why don't just be honest? Like I can understand this. This is, and two, they have a lot of leeway. They're doing some incredible things.
100%.
And things happen in crypto and NFTs. It's a weird thing. Just come out and say it. But you give me an excuse, and then all of a sudden stuff's even worse for the reason why you gave the excuse. So I'm not buying that. And for that reason, that's why I was out of the Sony drop, even though you tried to get into it and you didn't have a choice to get that tiki.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I wasn't going for the spatial display. It's also 20% off from yesterday's mint.
That's a good deal. Spatial display only on Thetadrop.
That's right.
Or Sony.com.
But yeah, no, that whole excuse of the bad market to delay the drop, I didn't buy it. I still don't. And yeah, I don't know. It's strange. Like, I prefer people to just be straightforward. That's another thing I love about symbiotes. It's like something goes wrong and it's like immediately Ivory is like making an announcement, like, I'm on this, we're going to fix this. I'm going to make sure this gets done for you guys. Just like if there's something going on in the project, everybody knows about it.
Yep.
If it's unbelievable. And I'm not expecting that level of transparency from Thetadrop, but give me 10%, you know what I mean? I want their cut.
Right.
So if they can come with 10% of the transparency that we get from symbiotes, then that's a huge win for the entire community.
Absolutely. And I also, I've mentioned before is Katy Perry. She wants to come on. Katy, we'd love to have you. We got a hot tub ready.
Katy, you're always welcome. No question about it. But we didn't get Katy for a guest this week. Unfortunately, I did put a call in. I was rejected, but we were able to come up with a new guest, and we're about to welcome in Swampass after these messages.
This week's episode is brought to you by Theta Pendants. Find the perfect gift for yourself or the NFT lover in your life. Choose from a wide variety of available options or inquire about a custom print. Each pendant is made of stainless steel and is shipped with tracking information. You can find them on Twitter at Pendants Theta. If you have a product you would like to exposure for, then promote it on Pops and Mags Pinecast.
Papa Max, yeah. Papa Max. Papa Max Podcast. Papa Max Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight with us, we have Swampass. You may know him from Twitter as OG Swampass OG. Welcome to the Pinecast, Swampass. How you doing, Swampy?
Man, I'm good. How are y'all doing?
We are doing great, Swamp. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're very excited to have someone of your stature within the community to join us and really give us some relevance here.
Man, that's kind of scary when you say it that way. I've told all my friends about being on my first podcast, and they are going to be listening, and they have no clue who the hell Swampass is.
That's really interesting. It took our friends until we started the podcast to understand what we were getting into as well, and some
Right.
of them are quite amazed by what's going on here. So it's pretty cool.
And quite confused.
Very
Yes.
confused.
Yes. My wife just, I think, maybe a week or two ago, finally realized that I was a Swampass.
That had to have been an interesting conversation.
She's, her and I get along really well together, and she had just as much of a laugh with it as I do. So it's all good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Can we ask about the origin of the Swampass name? I think everyone is curious.
Well, it's a little bit complex, I think, and much like y'all's names, it's kind of grown. It's kind of grown over time, right? Like, I hate to be too political, and I tried not to be political in the NFT space, just because I don't want to drag those type of views in with a project too much,
Yeah.
Especially as deep as I am into Tigons, I try not to get too political. It all started when Donald Trump was wanting to drain the swamp, right? And so I was like, oh, swamp, what would live in the swamp that would be bad, and I was like, Swampass. Plus it just sounds nasty, it's just,
Oh yeah.
It's just terrible. So
We all know what Swampass is. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like that name. It just stuck with me, and so it's been my YouTube handle forever. And one of my favorite things to do is to hop on a channel and just troll it. And so the name,
That's a perfect name for it.
yeah, the perfect name for the perfect troll. And I've, ever since the internet started, way back in in chat rooms, I can just go into a chat room and just destroy it. Just absolutely just put, just make people cry probably. But so I don't know. The name's kind of grown. I've also put it in the little box, because there's a little deal. Basically, you don't want Swampass, but you do want
Correct.
Swampass. So no, it's just been a fun name, and it really got catchy.
Yeah. No,
And
I mean, it's a great way to be noticed on Twitter. No, you see it one time and you're not going to forget that.
Right. Yeah. When Swampass makes a comment, you're like, what the heck is it?
Yeah.
Do I take it serious?
Yeah.
Do I not take it serious? My favorite thing is when we get on these calls with John Heder, the clearly Napoleon Dynamite of the project, Tygons, right? It almost pains him to say it, and I'm over the Tygons so much that he's got to say it every now and again. I'm here or I'm there, and he's like, it just pains him to say it. I feel so. I love it so much whenever he's got to mention me. So it's pretty.
That's
funny.
Awesome. Well, speaking of the Tygons, how did you get involved in that project, and what is it that you really love about it? There's so much information out there and projects. It's hard to stay on top of everything. And Tygons is one that I got my toes in, but just not enough time to really dig in deep. So I'm real curious to hear something from the inside here.
Yeah, I started. So I listen to the podcast, The Modern Investor, almost every morning. It's on YouTube. He's a good, seems like a good, young, knowledgeable guy about the crypto space in general and just kind of NFTs. And one of his pieces of advice was, look, if you're going to get into the NFT space, at least join one where the artist has some credibility. Don't try and follow a project that's got an unknown artist with an unknown background and an unknown kind of resume, so to speak.
Yep.
And so I was not into any projects, right? And I heard John was doing his project, the Tygons, and I was like, bam, a known artist with a known background and a known history. I was like, surely I can't fail too hard with that one. As soon as it came up, man, I started, I joined in, I started buying. I was not on Discord, which was my downfall. And I wish I'd have been on Discord early. And especially with the Pines too, now looking back, because you miss so much of what's going on, and you're missing airdrops and you're missing challenges and you're missing all kinds of stuff if you don't pay attention. But that's why I joined in on with the Tygons. My first NFT though was a battle pug. I had some I had some T fuel going. I knew about the Pines, and I was just, I don't know. I was just kind of sitting on the sidelines on the Pines, just kind of watching, not and seeing things go, and wasn't too keen on hopping in the project. Not for any specific reason, just kind of was naive, I guess, or not really hip to the idea.
Just checking it out still.
Yeah. So I bought a few battle pugs with some T fuel that I had staked from a year prior. And I was like, okay, I wanted to see how Thetadrop worked. I wanted to see how the T fuel worked, transactioning from my wallet to Thetadrop to buying. I wanted to learn about all that. And the only way to do it was to hop in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that got you into, you just came out of nowhere, really. And as soon, like, the minute I saw you on Twitter, it was like you came cannonballing into Thetadrop, it felt like, and just made a huge splash.
Well, I yes and no, because I'd been on with the Tygons early, and man, once I jumped in, I just couldn't stop. These things were so intriguing to me and so cool, and I wanted to be the first to 10. I was the first to 10. I was the first to 20. I was the first to 30. And I wanted to hit all these goals, and it's I don't know, it's my whole philosophy. No,
trust me, I know exactly how you feel. For sure. Yeah, I mean, you get in there and it's just like, oh, I have enough now. You know how many times I've said I've had enough, like Pines especially, like
how many Pines? How many do you have? How many Pines do you have, if you don't mind?
I have 52 now.
So you've said it 51 times.
No, not quite, but close. Yeah. When I first started on the first drop, I wanted to make sure I had 5 to 10. Like I wanted to have 5 to 10 Pines, and now here we are.
Yeah. You get to 10, and you're like, well, but what if I sell one? then I'm back down to 9.
Right.
Can't
I
be at 9.
need at least a couple. Right.
Yeah, I need 11 so I can always sell one, right?
Yeah. Hey, I know those feelings. Absolutely.
Just to hit your point about Tygon King got me. He's like, dude, you got to get on Twitter, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be on Twitter. You know, I've specifically stayed away from a lot of social media. I didn't want to get into all that. And he's like, dude, you got to get on the Twitter to help, you know, push these things. And I'm like, all right. So I hop on Twitter, but that was also the same time that he and I agreed to hop in on the Pines Deep, right? And so it was kind of, I guess to you guys, it kind of seemed like I came from nowhere and just made a splash, but we were already kind of making splashes, so to speak.
Gotcha.
And then so we hopped into Pines right away, and then on Twitter, and it's been, you know, uphill from there.
Yeah. No, I certainly remember. It definitely seemed like he came out of nowhere, and it was just like, wow, like a new whale in town. You know, it was pretty cool.
It's very weird to be called a whale. You know,
the swamp whale.
The swamp whale. Yeah. Well, and I think you guys are probably similar in this aspect. When I first got into crypto, I was
like, got it.
What's that? Yeah. So I was like, man, what's it take to be in the top % of crypto? Well, it takes, you know, what do they say? You only need like 0.028 Bitcoin if you're going to be in the top 1%, right? So I went ahead and captured my first Bitcoin, you know, long ago, because I wanted to be in the top %, hop into the Tygons. I wanted to be in the top, you know, hop into the Pines. You know, it's very hard to be in the top at that point because I had already gone so deep into Tygons and some pugs, you know, so you got to, and like you guys talk about, you can't, I'd love to hop into every project, but you just can't do it, and you can't follow it, and you can't commit to being a part of that community that I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah,
absolutely. And you end up missing so much if you are spread so thin. You know, you can you miss challenges, you miss airdrop, you miss a lot of stuff. So it's better. I found it to be better to just kind of focus in on a few different ones. And you know, like you said with the creators, like I've said it a number of times, I'm huge on investing in the creators. You know, it's like if you find a creator that is going to work hard, is going to put out a good product, is going to be, you're going to be able to have interaction with them. Like that is worth a ton to me. Obviously, you know, Rare Robot isn't, you know, he's not there with the interaction that often. But in my opinion, his resume speaks for itself when you see some of his past work, and he's fully doxed and, you know, working for Warner Brothers, and just, you know, just to have that kind of stuff. It's like, you know, I feel very comfortable in all of the projects that I'm in deep in. I feel very comfortable with who the creators are and who's in charge of the project. So yeah,
I didn't. That's kind of how I got back into Battle Pugs, but I really started focusing back on Battle Pugs when I saw HGH and his, you know, his Twitter page, and then I started watching his lives, and I'm like, you know what, this guy's really putting himself out there, and he's interacting with his fan base, and he's, you know, his heart and soul is in it. You can tell, and so that's what drew me in, and I love Pugs anyway. So Pugs, Tygons, and Pines.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of HGH, you know, I just got to give you some props here. We had a recent Fatillionaire 60-day hold the line at $1 million challenge, and I've said it before, but you were certainly the MVP of that challenge coming through, and we got ourselves some diamond hunting pugs now, and it's mostly thanks to you, dude.
You know, it was almost a double-edged sword, because you can't quite tell when somebody puts something up for sale. You're like, do they really want to sell it, or are they just kind of joking around with the community to try and you know, be fun? And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna snag these things. Boom, boom, boom. So anytime I saw one, I was like, snag it. You know. I just wanted to punish them for putting it on there, putting it up for sale.
Yeah. Now they're out a diamond pug. You know, it's like, why wouldn't you just hold it? Like, this is probably the case of them not being on Discord. and
Yep.
now you miss out because of it.
That's right. No, it very much is, because I didn't even know that challenge was going on at first. I just saw everybody listing them at $1 million, and I thought, how cool is that? I was like, how cool is that? And I even put a tweet up about the old grandma looking at her computer, and I was like, holy cow, the pugs are pug millionaires, $1 million. And I was like, that's right, grandma, you see that right, and I didn't even know that there was a challenge going on. And when I found out about the challenge, I was like, oh crap, as soon as I see one of these things, I've got to snag one, dude. Got to snag one. So that was a fun challenge. I mean, that when you have to put that many people together, and for that many people to hold, especially in these times too, it's not like things were going good, right? So people were making money.
Yeah.
People are, it's a pretty shaky time to be throwing these challenges out, and man, we did it.
Yeah, and speaking of that, that community, that HGH community, like that was just something that those guys did. It was like everybody just listed it for $1 million, and then HGH saw that and he's like, "Oh, this is pretty cool. If you can do it for 60 days, we'll do something special."
Right.
And it's just, that community, it is a very tight-knit, fun community. Like everyone's so helpful. I find that about most of these Theta communities. It's like you just find people that are super nice, genuine, and helpful, and it's really refreshing.
Yeah, it has been that way. I see that a lot with the Tigons too. Any challenges that are going on, somebody needs a Tigon with jorts and a Hawaiian shirt, and it's like 2 people will put them up for sale. Hey man, if you need it, here it is. It's been a breath of fresh air, actually. Like you say, to see that, kind of cool. But I think that's really fostered by ourselves and our community. And when I say that, I mean the Thetadrop community. It's the one that really has an umbrella of 10 projects or whatever that they can kind of capture, whereas all the other projects out there on OpenSea or whatever are solo projects. So there's no real bonding moment there, I guess, or whatever you say.
Sure. Yeah, like the communities they're overlapping a lot more within Thetadrop than they are out
for
on
sure.
OpenSea.
We're all tied to T-Fuel. We're all watching that. We're all, and matter of fact, to answer your question earlier about how I got into Theta, long time ago, watching and listening to Bix Weir, and so what was it, 2017 or Tthen I'm following Bix Weir and just Litecoining it up, stacking Litecoin. And then they started talking about Theta, and of course it was only on Binance, I think, at the time. And I made my first purchase of Theta at like 8 cents.
Ooh.
Yeah, I bought 11,000 for $800.
Wow.
And I kick myself now. Of course you're like, God.
Oh yeah, looking back, yeah.
Oh sure. My gosh. I mean, because at the time you're like, hey, yeah, I'll throw some money on this project, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh man, I watched that sucker go all the way up, and then here we are back down.
Yeah.
But I say I dollar cost averaged up now. But it's still it's all good. I have faith in Theta. They, it seems to be clicking along, especially with the patents.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I sleep soundly with my Theta staked in my own wallet.
Yeah, for sure.
So it just so happens. Go ahead. Yeah, go.
Could Swampass? I promise I'll return you to the Sheriff Popper Pinecast any time here. But I thought I'd like to mention. I guess this is just up for anyone. This is not really a question for you, but I had written down here to bring up Tigons, and I can't really do that now, can I, Sheriff?
You can.
So now we're good.
I think you just did.
Okay, we're moving on. So I do know. What do you know about this? You won this auction with the Knights. Can you tell us about that? Was it an auction?
It was an airdrop. He bought the airdrop.
Are you talking about for the Wiz Khalifa one, or which one? It was
the game. You already got to play video games.
3 people got an airdrop. All 3 of them were putting it up for sale, and so I just snagged it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I snagged it, and I was trying to get Tygon King to come in with me. I'm like, dude, come on, man, let's corner Wiz Khalifa and freaking throw, Tygon's out there and this and that. And, I had this grand old plan that it was worth it for me to do this because I was going to I was going to lay it out there for Wiz, this and that. And then before you know it, I didn't even hardly have much of a conversation. We did talk and it was very cool, but I didn't get a word in on NFTs, if you can believe that. My mind was just somewhere else. I was just like, it's just so weird. You're sitting there talking with Wiz Khalifa playing a video game and it's like, is this real? It's crazy. So yeah, I dropped the ball big time on that one. As far as getting my message across, like it was super fun and I'm glad I did it. But the whole point of what I was wanting to do was lost. So, oh well.
Only if King showed up, right? Maybe he could have helped out with that, but
yeah, that's what I was telling him. I'm like, dude, we could have at least, one person could have been talking while the other one was playing the game, because I'm not a gamer. I'm not a huge gamer. And so I'm sitting here trying to figure out Rocket League, and Wiz is like, dude, what is your car doing up on the wall? And I'm like, Wiz, don't freaking worry about me, bro. Okay, you just mind your bit. We're just sitting there going back and forth, dude. It was pretty funny. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, Wiz, I told you I'm not.
Oh man.
Is that the game where you try to score baskets with the car? Like you hit the ball?
It's soccer with the cars. Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, he's got this super souped up fast one, and he's getting to the ball faster than you can. And I'm like,
he's playing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He's it's Wiz. I mean,
That's what he does.
Right. I don't know if you guys saw that Pines Discord, but I had on the nights, I am into the nights too, just because of Wiz. So they hadn't asked me anything, and I was like, Wiz, are you gonna do an NFT for Khalifa Kush distribution rights? How cool would that be, right?
Yeah.
And his answer was, it's on the way.
Wow.
So isn't that going to be something? I mean, maybe you could hold an NFT of Wiz Khalifa's distribution rights to Texas or Colorado or however it breaks down. But wouldn't that be cool that you pump in money there and then all of a sudden you're getting money back off of distribution sales of his Khalifa Kush?
Yeah, I mean, there's the amount of future uses for NFTs is, you can really come up with some interesting things. That would be one of them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it just so happens that in my presence here, we have two of the owners of a Pine Games pineapple, and I am not one of them.
Uh-oh.
We got Tupac, and we got
the OG lieutenant.
The lieutenant. That's right, the lieutenant. Two props and what is it? Two accessories. No big deal. Yeah. So I love that Tupac pine. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it is pretty sick right there. It was when I saw it, I was once again. So Tygon King was my point man on this, right? I was like, dude, I want to get into pines, but I want to go big. What do we, where do we go? What do we do? And he's like, OG2 Pine is out there right now. And I was like, done deal. How much is it? Oh man. That's
sweet. So were you more of a Tupac guy or a Biggie guy?
Well, no, I mean, I'm a Tupac guy first, just because he was first, but Biggie, man, that guy could rap. I mean, he'd just tell you a story and it's just like he's talking. His songs were just like he's talking. It was no big deal. It was so smooth. And then just to be a big guy too. It's like, how do you not love a big, just a big fat guy? Big fat guy that can rap,
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. But of course, Tupac is the ultimate. I mean, he was so talented with his music and just the way he grew up was radical. He had everything mixed in one body, and I don't think we'll ever see that again. Clearly, with the demasculization of rappers these days, I don't think we'll see that.
Yeah, Tupac had the ability to kind of, reach into what was actually going on in the world and sing, speak about that. That's certainly not something that a lot of these guys do. I grew up on the East Coast, so I was more of a Biggie guy. myself,
Mhm.
but I mean, I certainly have nothing but respect for Tupac, and it's those stories of those two are just obviously tragic. Both of them tragic, just too
Yeah.
young, both of them.
For sure, for sure.
Wait, so Swampy, while we're talking about recording artists, do you have any opinion on American Idol NFT?
I
don't know if you heard about it. It was all over the news. Oh no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no. I was. That was. Man, I don't know what to think about that. And but that's on par for Thetadrop marketing, right? I mean,
Thetadrop what? Thetadrop what?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Thetadrop marketing is one of the interns going to the grocer's freezer and picking up some Totinos or something for Kyle.
Right.
That's their market.
And not enough Totinos, right? It's only
no.
It's like 2 and there's 6 of us.
Right. Oh, don't touch Kyle's Totinos.
Yeah,
he's a monster. Don't touch him.
I don't understand why they didn't market or why American Idol didn't want to mention it. I would like an answer on that. I mean, like, why wouldn't American Idol want to have pushed that more? Because I think they could have brought people into the space right there, and I don't think they did. I think it's just all of us buying the same stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Bezos brought people into space, and you have these biggest IPs out there, and you can't even tell anyone about them. Who's the head of marketing over there? Is it Kyle?
I think, or is it Andrew?
Or partnerships? I think he's partnerships.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think the whole community has got some frustration about it. It's like
because we all love it. We all love what they got, but
for sure.
It's like the Eric Cartman business school thing, I guess, is maybe what they studied, where he opens up an amusement park, but he refuses to let everyone in, and that drives up the demand. But that's not what's happening here. You're not telling anyone about it, and we're just trading Katy Perry's in the bathroom, taking a picture or ignite the night.
Yeah. No, for sure. Now I did go in on it because I thought, well, what the heck? If this is American Idol's first NFT, surely in 90 years it will be worth something, right? Surely. And so I was like, I'm gonna have the complete set. I went and bought the complete set from right up front. I think I spent $1,800 to get all 14 of them. Because you're buying some doubles at first if you're just ripping through packs.
You got some T-drop with that, I'm sure.
I got the, how much? 300
300?
Yeah. What's the math on that right now? I could have swore at the beginning of that challenge, it had a $sign in front of that T-drop.
Yeah.
And I was like, so it's $300 worth of T-drop. Now that is somewhat of
a prize.
That's a prize. Not it. I swear they had the $sign up there. I know they did. and you come out with 300 T-drop worth 0.000 whatever. Great.
Right.
Yeah, you could have bought a World Poker card.
Meanwhile, the freezer over there at Theta is just stacked with Tostinos.
Right. Yeah.
Now you know why.
He's still buying what's the worst brand of Totino? Like, what's the one that we hate the most?
The store brand, right?
Them up. Well, I mean, yeah, it's like he's buying just the worst one that no one wants, and he's just stacking them in there.
All these Tostinos.
Yeah, the freezer burnt now. They're freezer burnt now. Thetadrop has been it's like, if you're going to start a business, I thought you set aside a marketing budget and you say, okay, this is, it may not be big. Okay, we'll go guerrilla style and do something here, but we do have a budget for that, right? And it does not seem like that. I don't know, but maybe.
Yeah, to me, it just feels like we're kind of the guinea pigs here. At least that's what I'm hoping. Like this they're still within the first year. I know it's like, it's getting old for me too, a lot of this stuff. I'm still ready to give them the benefit of the doubt on some of these things. I do think that in the future, these American Idol cards, look at like rookie cards for baseball players. Like if some of these idols like go up and hit it big, those could be worth something. It could be worth a stab at them, and it's not like there's not a ton of them. When you look at like baseball cards, how many millions of them get printed? There's only a couple hundred, right, of each of these.
Yeah, 225, I think.
Right.
Is it? Or 255
yeah,
or
I
something
think that's
like
right. Yeah. So, I mean, you're not talking a huge supply.
No.
But, I mean, at some point, we all agree that this needs to change. Like, they can't if they're going to sell Katy Perry stuff, then Katy Perry fans need to come in and buy it. Like, they can't continue to make us Katy Perry fans, make us Golden Knights fans, make us Wheel of Fortune fans, Price is Right, whatever it is coming out. It's like, there's just only so much that we're going to be able to buy from them and be willing to buy from them. And I think that we're really in the middle of seeing that play out right now in the Thetadrop marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
But I will eat my hat, because I think we all know where this is going. In the year 2030, it's going to be a strictly American Idol NFT based economy. So get them now while they're cheap.
Yeah, that's going to be the new currency. And I had 2 of those daggum Noah Thompsons too, and I sold one. I sold one about halfway through, because I was like, dude, I'm going to get my 150 out of this, right? There was, you're probably not going to get that back. And I was like, I'll at least sell the one. I didn't know if he was going to win, didn't really care. I was just trying to recoup some of the 1,800 back.
Yep.
1,800 minus the 300 T-drop. So,
so 17.99.
Yeah, I was trying. So I was like, I'll sell this one. I sold it for 100. I made more T fuel than what I bought it for, so I was happy. And then the dude ends up winning, and I'm like, God dog it. But the next kicker on Thetadrop is, if you got 2 of them, you don't get you on the challenge. You don't get 2 challenges,
right?
And that's, to me, I'm very disappointed on that. I mean, what's the point of being a collector if you're not going to collect or get rewarded for collecting, so to speak?
I agree with that.
I mean, if I've got the inventory to back up the challenge, I better be able to mash out as many as as I've got. That's my deal, not just one per.
Yeah.
That's and so that's kind of what I did with the the diamond hands. I was like, hey, Tygon King, I need you to buy something from me. I need you to get the, oh, nice. Yeah. I want you to buy this one. We're going to get the drop, and then I'll buy them back, because that's the only way I'm going to get my 3 that I bought. And I don't care if it's right, wrong, or whatever, but I was like, dude, I took the time to buy those 3 to help a challenge out, and I want the rewards for those 3. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, I don't either, but oh well.
I mean, one of the guys that I'm big on is Ivory Jones, and there's a Symbiote challenge right now, and all you have to do is own one of you have to have a vault opened. So there's 4 different ones that you could have gotten there. If you have any one of those 4, you're eligible. And just running basic numbers, there's got to be 800 people that are eligible, and there's only less than 300 that have minted. And it's been live for over a day. So it's like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah.
It was intentionally done this way so that everyone in the community was able to get one of these challenge NFTs. And I'm just boggled. My mind is blown that not even 300 are minted yet.
Yeah. Popper, real quick too, though. I mean, that's like the least of your worries, I think, on the Symbies, because you have people that have all these certain levels that qualify for different roles on the Discord, and they're not even on Discord. It's boggling my mind. It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They're giving away Discord roles, and people aren't even on Discord.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you have certain, certain types of NFTs, certain amount of different NFTs, and you're on Discord, you earn a role. But if you have those NFTs and you're not on Discord, you lose.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're going to invest in something, like, I want to know everything I can about it.
And you're absolutely right. That's what once I found Discord and found what I was missing, I was like, never again.
Yeah, but and like we said before, it's just hard to keep on top of all of this stuff.
Prime example, I don't hop into the Pine Discord a lot just because I feel like it's got its own community, not its own community, but it's like it's fostered its own guys on there. And I don't need to go in there and chime in on that. I'm trying to just chime in and keep Tygon's, Discord. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to follow. Like you miss so much.
Yeah.
You'll click back and you're like 85 messages. Well, damn. You're like, what the heck's going on here?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just good morning.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Personally, I love all of the pineapple people. Like, I don't have a problem with any of them, but I do not find the SPS Discord to be helpful at all. It was great for the Pine games, but there's really no or very little interaction with the creators on there. So it's like if you could pop in there once a week and be caught up. Whereas it's like with Symbiote's Ivory Jones, it's like if you're not in there, like he just has like impromptu meetings every once in a while, and it's like, oh, I'm going live right now. He's like, hop on and ask me any questions you want. And it's like, there's not every Discord is made equally, and I feel like Tygon's must be more in this Ivory lane than Pineapples.
No, I mean, really, it's just order of Tygons and some of those guys from Verified Labs that are helping foster. John I think he might have been on once. If he does anything, he'll do like a Zoom call with us, and he'll hop in and we'll all be on a Zoom call type thing. I would love to see John more, but I know he's got tons of stuff going, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing movies, he's doing this, he's doing that. I'm like, you've got a twin though. I mean, come on. No one will know. No one will know.
So I had a thought, we got all these issues that we'd like to discuss with Thetadrop. Maybe the right time to bring all these up would be at ThetaCon. You have any plans of attending?
Yes, I just bought my ticket today. And so as of right now, barring any, worldly events that prevent us from going, it sounds like it's going to be a great time, I hope.
Yeah, I don't see how we can go wrong, to be honest.
I was a little bit taken back as far as like it still doesn't seem like Theta knows which way they want to cater. And I think someone even had this question or had this comment on Twitter. It was like, we're struggling to decide whether to cater to our creators or to our, the buyers or to the this and that. And I'm like, man, you should be catering to us, I would think. I mean, this thing should be for us, right? The Theta community. Am I wrong here?
I think that Thetadrop should be catering to the creators, and the creators should be catering to the community.
True. Yeah.
I mean, I think Thetadrop has an obligation to the creators as well as to the community. Well, it's still in beta, just like us.
Yes, y'all are in beta too.
Well, yeah, we're in beta. I think we're going to stay in beta. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. This has been awesome. It's been great just kind of getting to know you a little better and hearing from your perspective. It's been a good time.
Yeah, no, it's been great talking with you guys. Everything's been so smooth and just like you wanted it. Just casual conversation is the way I've felt this thing going so far. So that's cool.
100%.
Great.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's not stay too distant, and we'll keep chatting, man. Good luck with your projects.
We'll see you on the Twitter battlefield.
Well, it's been awesome, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great night. Thanks for doing this. We'll talk soon.
Cool. Y'all take care. Later.
All right, you too.
You have been listening to the Pops and Mags Pinecast. Music provided by Sushi Cat. Like what you hear? Send that cat a very nicely worded compliment on Twitter at JustAddSpam. Pops and Mags is a Scumbag Hat production in association with Kyle's Hot.